how did you develop your artistry, or who inspired you to start rapping?
Let my mom tell it. From the time we were 2 or 3, my sister and I would just, one of us would be beatboxing and the other one would be blah 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 trying to rap. She has a background doing the same thing. She was just like me when she was my age. She was rapping and singing, and she just didn't have the courage to pursue it quite as far as I am. She came from a different time, so she was more concerned with like stability, and eventually it got to her, like the fact that you have to grind this sort of thing out. There's no guarantees, and so I think it's just something that was just like is a gift that was in it's just in me.
Okay.
But I would say it came from my mom.
Okay.
And as soon as I could put together anything on any electronic device, I just did. I've been recording like for a long time on like very basic stuff, like the little tape recorders where you hit record and play, and
just record.
Man, I've been doing it for a long time. Okay. That's all. It's just my God-given talent.
So how do you get your inspiration?
I just write about what happens in my life.
Okay. So, like, do you concentrate on some specific topics, or just randomly whatever comes to you goes into the lyrics?
I concentrate on specific topics most times. I kind of
like consciousness, or
I try to mix the two because I really like to turn up. But I try to do like something for the people who like the Migos, and if they ever tune into the words, they might hear some Kendrick Lamar. They might hear some Jay-Z. Okay. It just depends on what I'm doing. If I'm singing, I'm likely talking about past relationships or current relationship struggles. If I'm rapping, I'm likely talking about being successful, working hard, financial gain, that kind of stuff. But trying to keep it intelligent is my MO. It's just trying to keep my music intelligent, but not so intelligent that you can't do what music is supposed to make you do, and that's dance.
Okay. So, how do you get to the beat selection? Like, do you write the lyrics and then kind of match the lyrics to the actual instrumental, or you get the instrumental first and then you kind of freestyle on it and catch your vibe and kind of go from there?
A little bit of both, because I produce for myself too. So there's a lot of songs that I have that I wrote and produced for myself from start to finish, and that was like a hand-to-hand process, which I prefer. But the time that it takes for me to produce versus just finding something and it's like flames, and I'm like, oh, sometimes I'll get together with like her and some other similarly creative minds, and we'll just run through beats. Okay. Whatever gets us lit and whatever catches, it might be a chorus, it might be, I freestyle some songs. It's just, with music, it's all about the vibe, and the more people that you have around you that are in that vibe, or, the more that you immerse yourself in the culture, I think the easier it is to be creative. Because if I'm at work and I just don't do anything but work, then it's harder for me to create versus coming out here to Philly and being around these folks for X amount of time, and now I just feel like I can write an album, like, that's where my inspiration comes from. It's just that energy that comes that just is woven into this hip hop culture. Like, it just, it's about group, so.
It's nothing wrong with being, having people around you to uplift you. Because I always tell people, even Jesus got 12 disciples. Mm-hmm. It's he's the son of God, but he got 12 people to help him. Mm-hmm. How about you, as human beings? So, it's always good to have help.
Right.
Whatever. So, like the studio, how is the recording process for you? Like, what do you have to have around you in the studio? I know you say you produce music. Mm-hmm. So, I'm gonna leave that for now. Like, who are your top producers, if you have to? Who do you model your beat making?
It's hard to say. I don't, because
Timbaland?
No.
For real?
Because I'm not a producer at heart. Okay. So that's not like.
But somebody got to inspire you though.
Everybody. It's a little bit of everything. When I'm writing, one thing that's my main focus when I'm writing my songs is variety. It's it's switching things up, and I literally would take the time to try to embody certain people as the verse goes on. Just to keep it interesting. So nobody in particular. Because all of the sounds hold a place as appropriate at certain times, Nobody in particular.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, as long as you know what you're doing and it sounds great, I don't think anybody has to influence it, I guess.
Everybody's a small influence.
Yeah.
It's just the time and the place for their influence to apply.
Okay.
You know.
So how does the recording process goes? Like, what do you have to have in the studio? Alcohol, weed, you know, your bodies and your friends. Okay, just name 3 items you gotta have around you for a great studio session.
I gotta have somebody that knows my music.
Okay.
So they can give feedback.
Okay.
Because they done heard the song 50 million times.
So you appreciate the feedback.
Yeah.
Some people don't like that.
Fools. Oh, fool. Like, you know, people around me know my music best. They hear it all the time. And so if I stray a little bit, I mean, I think that's part of the relationship that's lost in this little trio amongst teams is, you know, nobody's giving feedback. They just throw you in the studio and they're like, oh, that sounded great. Did it? Or did you just get a clean recording of me and now I can go on my way? So I got to have somebody that cares to lend an ear and say, nah, you should leave that part alone, or etc. Can't have no bands in the studio. It can't be nobody. It just can't be no bands in the studio. Nobody that's going to ruin my vibe. Okay. Nobody that's going to not be focused on me while I'm there, because that distracts me.
Okay.
I don't have to have weed, but I do smoke.
Alcohol? No?
Nah. Okay. I'm drinking because it's here. Okay. But I'm a smoker versus being a drinker. Okay. And, you know, smokers just kind of smoke all the time.
No, I hear that a lot from people. So, people tend to smoke a lot more now than, you know, being a drinker. So
right. It's just more mentally relaxing.
Yeah.
You can go in whatever mode you want when you're smoking. When you drink, I mean, you might start losing your train of thought. Yeah. Shit start to slip. You start to sweat. It's just, it's a lot of consequences that come with drinking that don't come with smoking.